we are just about to start. Okay. Perfect, right. Come and lie onto your mat, onto your back. Find yourself in a nice, comfortable position. Let me just tilt that so you can see a bit better. Okay, good. Find yourself a nice, comfortable space on your mat, lying onto your back. And we'll get into our nice neutral position. So let's just think about having our feet hip width apart, shoulders nice and relaxed onto the mat. And just think about relaxing through your spine, get yourself nice and comfortable. We're going to start with just a little breathing exercise. So what I'd like you to do is take your hands and put them on the lower part of your ribs. Okay, so it doesn't matter where your elbows rest, just go where you're comfortable with this. What we're going to do is use your hands as a little bit of pressure, because when we breathe, we have this tendency to sort of really dome through the abdomen and push forwards. And what we want to encourage is a little bit more of this lateral breathing through the ribs at the side. So hands go onto the front of your ribs here. And we're just going to think about your breathing. So as you breathe in, your hands are acting as a little bit of a reminder not to push your ribs forwards and to really open the space through the side of your ribs. A few nice breaths, not too deep, but just a little bit deeper than a normal breath. Okay, so breathing in, feel the ribs opening to the side. And breathing out, feel your ribs soften and relax back down again. Good. Nice breath in as you're opening up through the ribs. And breathing out as those ribs are softening. Good. And really try and feel that the air is going into the side of your lungs rather than sort of up to the front or down into your abdomen, anywhere around there. Really feel like the ribs are really expanding out to the side. So you're really opening through this section. So your ribs are really opening and closing as you're breathing. So really wide and opening and releasing back down. So a couple more breaths. That's it, last one. Nice deep breath in, breathe right to the sides. Make sure that your hands are not being forced forwards. And breathing out. And then when you've done that one, just let your hands rest nice and comfortably by your side. So thinking about that movement pattern through the ribs and opening up through the sides, we're going to take a nice deep breath in. And as you do that, your arms are coming up over your head. So you're breathing in, move those, and breathe out as you circle your arms down and round beside you. So we're breathing in, opening through the ribs. Breathing out as your arms circle around. Breathing in as your arms come up. And breathing out as your arms circle round. Good, two more. Nice deep breath in as we go up. And breathing out as your arms come round. Okay, last. Coming up and breathing out. Now we're bringing the legs in as well, one leg at a time. As you bring your arms up, we're sliding one leg away from you. And as you circle your arms around, it's sliding back up again. We swap sides with the legs. Slide that leg away from you as you stretch everything away and circle your arms around as you bring the knee back up. We're swapping sides. Now, easy level, keep your foot in contact with your mat or the floor, the carpet, whatever you're lying on. Harder level, then your foot is hovering above the ground as you extend the leg out and hovering as it comes back in. Okay, we'll just do a few more of those. Now just watch. Now we've talked about the legs, just watch your shoulders haven't started to sneak up towards your ears again. So we're thinking about that nice big space between your shoulders and your ears as you extend those arms round. Good, just a few more. Perfect. Don't forget the breathing. We're going to take a nice deep breath in as we open everything up. And breathe out as we bring everything back round again. One more on each leg. Breathing in as you really reach everything out. Good. Breathe out as it comes around. Last one. Lovely. Good. Let your arms just relax by your side nice and gently. You're going to bring both feet together now. So feet come together, knees come together. We're going to put the knees down towards the side. So we are going to think about our hip position and our pelvis position. We're going to aim to keep the hips and pelvis on the mat, okay? So as you breathe out, you're going to drop your knees down to one side up until the point that you feel like the opposite side of your pelvis wants to lift up, but you've got to keep it pinned down, okay? So we're breathing out as we drop the knees down, and we breathe in as they come back up to center. Off to the other side, breathe out as you drop your knees down, Good. Keep control of the pelvis there. Breathe in as it comes back up. Opposite sides again. So breathe out as you go down. Breathe in as you come back up. And it might feel a little bit tight as you start, but the more you do it, it'll start to ease off and relax through your spine as you do this. So breathe out as you lower down. Breathe in as you come back up. Good. Breathe out as you go down. Good. Breathe in as you come back up. A few more. Breathe out as you go down. Just see if you can go a little bit further, a little bit more of a stretch through that hip and pelvis area. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out to go down. Really feel that. And you probably will notice, I definitely am, that you could get a lot further on one side than you can on the other. Absolutely fine. Just go with what your body's happy to do. Don't force it to go any further. You're not trying to balance it up too much at the moment. Okay, so what we're going to do now after we finish this one is we're going to take it into the routine that we practiced last week. Those of you that were here, we're going to start to work all the way up the body and we're breaking down the rotation. So we're going to go off to the right hand side first of all. So I'm going to drop both knees down towards the right hand side. When my pelvis feels like it's ready to lift, I'm going to allow the pelvis to come up, but I'm keeping my ribs in contact with the mat. Okay, so ribs stay, but hip comes up. On the way back down, hip comes down first, then the knees come back. We're going off to the left hand side now. So drop both knees down towards the left. When they've gone as far as they're comfortable, allow the right hip to come up, but keep your ribs on the mat. Okay, pelvis comes down, so push that hip down first, then allow the knees to float back. A few more of these. So knees drop down, then the hip comes up, ribs stay flat. Draw the hip back down onto the mat. And as you draw the hip back down, you'll feel your lower abdominals start to engage a little bit more as the knees come back up to neutral. Again, off towards the other side. So knees drop down. When I've gone as far as I can, then the hips are allowed to come back up. I'm going to really draw the hip back down so I can really feel those lower abdominals engaging, almost as if they are pulling my knees back up to center again. Okay, a couple more. So dropping them down, opposite side. Breathe out as you go down. Breathe in as you come back up. Keep those ribs fixed onto the mat. Don't allow them to join in just yet. So knees down, hip comes up, and then hip comes down. Allow the knees to come. Finish up. Last one on this side. So we drop the knees down. Let the hip come up. Hip draws back down. And follow with the knees. Okay, so we're going a bit further this time. So we are going to do dropping the knees down, the hip comes up. As when you've gone as far, and now you're going to start to feel like the ribs want to come up, and we can just allow the ribs just to raise forwards a little bit. Now on the way back down, this is where the muscles start to work harder again. Think about really drawing back through this part of your body. So you're pushing. So I've gone down towards my left hand side. So my right side of my ribs are really drawing down towards the mat, which will make all of my waist muscles on that right hand side start to activate. And then the hip comes back. Then the legs come back up again. So we go down to the opposite side. So I'm going down towards my right hand side with my knees. My left hip's coming up. When it's gone as far as it can and my left ribs want to raise, I'm allowing them up just a little bit, and I'm going to draw back down through the ribs here. Now my waist muscle is working. Then my hips, which will make my lower abdominals work more, and I come back up to the center. Good, let's do a few more of those. Always remember the order, same order all the time. Knees down, hip comes up, ribs come up. Then the ribs go down, waist muscles work, hip goes down, lower abdominals work to bring those knees back up to center. That's it, good. Drop the knees down, opposite side. Hip comes up, ribs come up. Draw the ribs back down. Work your waist muscles, work the hip, bring back to center. We're doing one more on each side. Breathe out as you go down. Gravity does the first bit. Hip comes up, ribs come up, and then really work the ribs. Ribs separate, make sure the hips don't join in at the same time. So ribs, waist, hip comes down, work through the abdominals to bring the knees back up. Last one, drop the knees down, let the hip raise, let the ribs raise. Draw the ribs down, draw the waist in, Lower abdominals work as your hip comes round and knees are back up to center. Perfect. Right. Take yourself into whichever stretch you feel you need to do. So you can go into a full body stretch, or you could bring your knees in towards your chest and just do a little bit of a rotation if you're coming into knees to chest. Perfect. And remember to go in both directions. Good. Okay, pop your legs back down. We are back into neutral position on your back, and we're going to do some shoulder bridges. So feet are hip width apart, so remember, do your little Charlie Chaplin feet, so toes go out, heels come round to face, knees and hips are all in line with your ankles. Okay, and your arms are nicely rested by your side. So we're starting the movement, imagining you've got this bowl of water sitting on your pelvis, and we're going to rock that bowl of water as if it's coming up to tip the water up towards your head, and then we're going to roll it as if we're going down towards your toes. Okay, so just roll in the pelvis, roll it up towards you, roll it away from you. Good, just roll it up, roll it away. We're not lifting the spine at all at the moment. So as you roll up towards you, you're going to take it all the way until it feels like you just about want to lift your spine, and you'll notice that your glutes start to switch on, and then as they release your glutes and tilt your spine so that you are tilting your pelvis so that the water is if you're tipping it down towards your toes. So this time as we roll up, we're tipping the water up towards our head. Once your pelvis has tilted as far as it can and it feels like it needs to lift the spine now, just check your glutes are switched on. And we're just going to peel one by one as far as you're comfortable to go without pushing your feet into the floor. And just go as far as you want to go, and then placing the spine back down one by one. When your pelvis hits the mat again, release your glutes, tilt back to neutral. Okay, so we tilt. Squeeze your glutes. Peel the spine up. Keep your feet nice and light on the mat. Okay, it is all coming from your glutes that's driving the movement up, not pushing through your feet. So one by one, place the spine back down, one by one as it comes down. Once your pelvis makes contact, release the glutes, tilt back to neutral. Couple more. Tilt, squeeze, peel up. Lovely. And then one by one on the way back down. Make contact each of those bones. It's really tricky. The ones at the bottom of your spine don't always want to make contact. You just have to kind of just encourage them each time. Last one in this at this level, and then we're moving it on. One by one, place those bones back down again. Perfect. Okay, so this time what we're going to do is peel yourself up into your shoulder bridge. Go up as far as you're comfortable to go. Make sure it's your glutes that are driving it. Once you're up into this position, you're going to bring your arms up and above your head. And then lower the spine back down one by one. Keep your pelvis high until the last bone has made contact. Release your glutes, tilt back to neutral, and then allow your arms to come back by your side. So we are tilting back. Squeeze through your glutes. Peel your spine up and away from the mat. Shoulders stay nice and down so they're away from your ears. Arms come up above your head, and then peel the spine back down one by one. Just leave your arms there. Tilt back to neutral. Perfect. Arms come back. We'll do two more like this. Tilt the pelvis. Squeeze your glutes. Peel yourself all the way up into your bridge position. Draw your arms up and over your head. Keep your arms there. Lower yourself back down. Good. Should be getting easier now. Should be getting a bit easier just to raise up into that bridge position. Let's do one more like this. Tilt, squeeze through the glutes, drive your hips up, and arms come up and over. Lower yourself back down again. Perfect. Lovely. So we're going to do the last three now with full circles with the arms. So what I mean with this is we're going to tilt the pelvis, squeeze through yourself up to shoulder bridge. Your arms come up and over your head. Now as you come down at the same time, you're going to circle your arms down with you. Imagine you've got water balloons underneath your armpits and you're squeezing them as you're coming down. So we're activating through our upper core as well as our lower core. So you've got three of these. Tilt your pelvis, activate through your glutes, peel yourself up, arms come up and over. And then as you come down with your spine, your arms are circling around at the same time, trying to place each of those bones on the mat at the same time. Remember to keep your glutes activated until your pelvis makes contact, and then release and tilt back to neutral. Okay, so we're just going to do 2 more. So tilt, peel up, arms come up and over, and then we're working down. So make it go in order, each one of those bones one by one. As you're coming down, pelvis makes contact, tilt back to neutral. The last one of these, so peel yourself up, arms come up and over, circle those arms round, squeeze those water balloons between your shoulders as you work yourself round and down. Perfect. Take yourself into whichever stretch you need. So you might want knees to chest, you might want a full body stretch. Go with whatever you feel is best for you. That's it. And draw your circles if you are doing knees to chest. Perfect. Good. Okay, so we're going to come off of our backs now. We're going to go onto your side. Okay, so we are going to start with up to you, whichever level you want to work at. Easy level is knees bent in this position. Harder level is legs out straight. So go with whatever is comfortable for you. Either way, our spine is nice and in line. So shoulders and hips are in line. If your legs are out straight, then your legs are in line with your hips, as if we've got this straight line going all the way down. And if you've got your knees bent, then have your heels in line with your bottom. Okay. If your knees bent, top leg goes straight. Okay. You can pop your hand onto the mat to support you. If you feel you're really balanced, then pop your arm onto your side just to make it a little bit more of a challenge. But if you're feeling a little bit wobbly, then pop your hand onto the mat. We are going to breathe out as you lift the leg up. Breathe in as it comes down. Breathe out as it lifts. Breathe in as it comes back down. Now let's work with the foot. Point your toe as you raise up. Bring your toe up towards your head as you lower it down. Good. Point as you lift. Dorsiflex as you come down. That's it. So point your toe going up. Draw your toes towards your head coming down. Good. Try and keep your leg in line with the rest of your body the whole way through. Don't let it be tempted to draw forwards through the hip at all just yet. Okay, couple more of this. That's it, lowering it down. Keep thinking about it being lengthened. Try and switch off all your calf muscles. Make sure it's all coming from those hip stabilizers there. Right, last one like that. Okay, this time lift the leg up so that it is hip width apart. So you're not too high and it's not too low. So it's kind of just in line with your hip there. And what we're going to do is you're going to bring the leg forward. Okay, now as you come forward, you'll feel that lower leg push into the mat. So whether you've got your leg straight or you've got it bent, that lower leg is going to push into the mat. Just watch as you do that your hip doesn't follow forwards with it. Keep your hips stacked on top of each other. Okay, then bring the leg back to neutral. We are going to come forwards as far as you're comfortable to go and draw it back to neutral. Breathe out as you're lengthening your leg forwards. Breathe in as it comes back to neutral. Breathe out as it lengthens. Breathe in as it comes back. Super. A couple more. Breathe out as it goes forwards. Breathe in as it comes back to neutral. Good. Last one like this. Good. If it's really burning, have a rest. If you can carry on, keep your leg in this position. We're going backwards now. So on the way back, it comes from your bottom. So squeeze your bottom to take the leg back. Don't push the hips forwards, keep them stacked on the top of each other. So squeeze your hip as you take it back, release it as it comes back to neutral. Squeeze as you take the leg back, release as it comes back to neutral. Breathe out, take it back. Breathe in, back to neutral. It's probably burning now. We've only got a few more to do. Breathe out, squeeze it back. Breathe in as it comes back to neutral. Breathe out, take it back. Breathe in. Come back to neutral. Last one. Breathe out, squeeze it back. Breathe in, back to neutral. Lower your leg down. Okay, good. Give the muscle a little bit of a rub. And we'll get the blood getting back into that muscle. Right, let's give the leg a little bit of a rest. We're going to swap onto the other side, but we'll be back to do the progression of that in a second. So swap onto the other side. Okay, get yourself nice and comfortable. Okay, so same again on your side. Think about the positioning of your spine. You need to be in line, shoulders and hips. If your knees are bent, your heels are in line with the back of your spine. If your legs are out straight, then you need to be as if there was your body was lying against a wall, if you like. Hand can come in front of you to balance. Easier level, but bend the bottom knee. Okay, perfect. So let's do breathing out, raise the leg up, breathe in, lower it down. Breathe out, raise it up. Breathe in, lower it down. Breathe out as it goes up. Breathe in as it goes down. Bring the ankle in. So you point as you go up. Draw your foot towards you as it lowers back down. Good. Point your toes as it goes up. Draw your toes up towards you as you come down. Just try and keep it nice and flowing. And all the movement is coming from your glutes. So just watch that your calf muscles haven't started to work too much, especially with the pointing and flexing of the toes. Make sure it is all coming from your hips. Good. Okay. Now we bring the leg up to hip width apart. Again, it's all coming from these hip stabilizers here. So just check your hips are stacked on top of each other. Okay, you're not tempted to roll too far forwards or too far backwards. If you want the challenge, then bring the second leg or the bottom leg out straight. So your leg is hip width apart. We're going to breathe out as you take your leg forward. Breathe in as it comes back to neutral. Okay, breathe out. Slide the leg forward. Don't worry if it doesn't go too far. As soon as you start to set the leg forward, you're going to feel that top hip is wanting to go forwards. Don't let it. You've got to work. It's the work comes from you stabilizing your pelvis. It's not about how far the leg goes. It's about how hard you're working through this abdominal area and through your glutes and hip stabilizers. Good. So breathe out. Stretch the leg forward. Breathe in as it comes back. Breathe out as it goes forwards. Breathe in as it comes back. Now, as your leg comes forwards, imagine it sliding across a shelf. Okay, so that as you take your leg forwards, it doesn't end up coming down towards the floor. Okay, sliding forwards and coming back there. Good. Breathe out. Last one. And breathe in. If you can keep it up, and we're going to go into extension this time. If you need a rest, take a little rest and join us in a second. So think about squeeze your bottom, take the leg back. Don't push your hips forwards or start to roll off that bottom hip. Release it, come back to neutral. Breathe out, squeeze your bottom. Breathe in, come back to neutral. Breathe out, squeeze. Breathe in, release. Breathe out, squeeze. Breathe in, release. Couple more. Squeeze. I know it's probably burning now. Just stay with it. Couple more. Squeeze as it goes back. Release as it comes forwards. Squeeze as it goes back. And release as it comes forwards. Last one. Squeeze and release. Draw the leg in. Let it hug in front of you. And give it a little bit of a rub. Perfect. Okay, let's spin you back over onto the first side. Okay, right. You are going to come onto your side again. I would do this one with the bottom leg bent for what we're going to start with. If you want a bit of a challenge later on, we can have a go at straightening it, but let's just build the exercise up like this first of all. So remind ourselves of neutral spine. Shoulders are stacked on top of each other, hips are stacked on top of each other, and you've got that straight line going all the way down your back so that your shoulders, hips and leg are all in line. Use your front hand or your top arm to stabilize yourself, and we're just going to go back to the lifting the leg and lowering. Okay, lifting the leg. Now as you lift your leg, I want you to lift it so you can start to feel your waist starting to engage, but at the same time don't let this side of your waist give in and drop down. Think about lifting your waist up here, but we're going to engage here. So if you can, with this hand, just have a feel how those muscles are working there. So you're breathing out as you lift, breathe in as you come down, breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you come down. Good. That's first prep. Let that leg just relax. Keep it straight, but keep that leg nice and relaxed. What we're going to do now is you're going to start with your arm up and above you. Okay. You're going to breathe out as you take your arm up and breathe in as it comes back. Now, that feels pretty easy. Now we're going to make it work a little bit more. So you're going to imagine that you are squeezing a water balloon underneath your armpit. Okay, so breathe out, squeeze that water balloon and breathe it in as you release it. Breathe out, squeeze, withdrawing the shoulder blade down, work those shoulder girdle muscles and release. Breathe out and breathe in. Good. Breathe out and breathe in. Perfect. Now, what we are going to do now is we're going to leave, well, actually, let's just put the hand here. Let's make it a little bit easier for us. So what we're going to do is, as you breathe out, we're going to lift the top leg, but at the same time, we're going to lift the head up. Now, it doesn't come from neck. It's not neck coming up. It's drawing in from this hip to rib connection here. So think about your pelvis bone here and the lower part of your ribs, and imagine that they are drawing closer together at this point here. Okay, so we're going to breathe out, lift, breathe in as you come back down. Breathe out, lift. Okay, this hand is nice and relaxed. I'm not pushing down to create the movement. Release, come down. Breathe out as you come up. You can really feel that working now. So if you don't need your hand to stabilize you, put your hand between the lower ribs and the top of your pelvis and just feel that muscle as you lift. It's really engaging and releasing as it comes down. Breathe out, lift and release as you go down. Good. Okay, now if this feels like it is hard enough for you, just stick with this. If you want a bit more of a challenge, we are going to go for breathe out and lift. Bring your arm down and breathe in as you come back. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in as you come back down. Good, we are really working that side muscle now. Super. Okay, couple more. Breathe out as you come up. Breathe in as you go back down. Breathe out as you come up. Breathe in as you go back down. Good. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in. Two more if we can. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in and go back down. Last one. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in as you come back down. Perfect. Just take a moment. Feel that stretch. So lengthen your foot away from you. Lengthen your top arm away from you and feel the stretch through your side. Imagine you are being lengthened, pulled one way through your fingers and pulled the other way through your toes. Perfect. And then just gently relax. We'll spin you back over onto the other side. Okay, so get comfortable first of all. Think about that neutral spine and position. We keep the bottom leg bent, top leg straight. Okay, good. Shoulders are stacked on top of each other, hips stacked on top of each other, and we are lifting a little bit through the waist. Okay, so you're imagining that gravity is not allowed to take over and let everything in the middle just drop down towards the mat. Just think about lifting a little bit through the waist. And it's made easier by lengthening that top leg away from you, but you're keeping a nice position there. We're going back to the single leg lift. So wherever you want to go with the other hand, you can pop it onto your side if it's for more of a challenge, or pop it onto the mat if you want to keep it nice and easy for yourself. So we're breathing out as you lift. Breathe in as it comes back down. Good. Now, as you lift the leg, think about lengthening at the same time. So lift and lengthen, and release and lower. Lift and lengthen, release and lower. Good. Excellent. A few more. Good. And then just let that leg relax. Take your arm nice and long. Take your other arm up and over the top. So if you remember with this one, we are going to breathe out, bring your arm down towards your side, and then breathe in as you come back up. That is super easy. So now we need to activate through the muscles. So as you bring your arm over, imagine you're squeezing a water balloon underneath your armpit, and at the same time pushing your shoulder blade down towards your pelvis. Okay, good. Breathe out, lengthen, draw everything down. Breathe in as your arm goes back. Good. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in as you come back. That's it. Good. Keep thinking about a nice space between your ear and your shoulder as you do this. Good. Squeeze that water balloon as much as you can. Squeeze as you draw it down. Last one. Good. Finish up with this one. Squeeze. Draw that shoulder blade down and release as you come back. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do now is lift the leg, and we're engaging, so thinking about working between the top of your pelvis and the lower part of your rib cage. So that gap there is going to start to work to come together as we're lifting up. Remember, it's not the neck that does the work, it comes from your waist. Okay, so as you breathe out, you are lifting, okay, but it's coming from here. Breathe in as you come back down. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in as you come back down. Good. Pop your hand on your waist muscles if you need to. And release. Good. Breathe out, lengthen and lift. Breathe in as you come back. Super. Breathe out, lengthen and lift. Breathe in as you come back. 2 more like this. Breathe out, lengthen and lift. Breathe in as you release all the way back down. Last one like this. Breathe out, lengthen and lift. Really work those abdominal muscles there. Perfect. Okay, if that was enough, stick at that level, carry on there. If you want to bring the arm in as well, top arm comes over, breathe out, arm comes up, waist comes up. We're really working through that center waist muscles there. Breathe out, everything lifts. Breathe in as everything lowers back down again. Breathe out, lengthen and lift. Breathe in. Now last 2, just check your waist hasn't dropped down. So you're going to really draw in through your tummy button area and make sure that waist has not sunk down. Last one, lengthen, lift. And lower back down. Stay there, push your leg away, push your fingers away. That's it, really stretch out as much as you can there. Good, few deep breaths, just easing out through the waist muscles. Perfect, good. Okay, we are going to come onto your knees. We're going to come into your child pose position. So let's just take you into this position like this. So onto your knees, keep your bottom down onto your heels as much as you can, and push your hands away from you as far as you can, and just let your head rest down towards the mat. Lengthen through your arms, feel the stretch through your waist. And then we're going to take both hands towards one side, so we're going to just stretch that area we've worked. Watch your bottom doesn't come off your heels. Keep your bottom right onto your heels, and you'll feel that stretch through your waist. Brilliant. And then walk your hands around to the other side. Good. Feel that release through all the way through that waist area there. Lovely. And then we're going to come back to the center. Now we're going to go onto all fours. So for this, if you can keep your hands onto the mat, then please do. If you're struggling with your wrists, then you can come down onto elbows if you need to for this exercise. So let's just get yourself nice and comfortable. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Okay, watch you're not too close in or too far apart. Try and get that right position there. Okay, let's just work through the spine, get a bit of mobility first of all. So roll up, tuck your hips under and push your spine up towards the ceiling, and then release down and tilt all the way up, so we're arching through the back. Let's do 2 more. Just tuck under and do a nice big stretch. Feel your shoulder blades sliding around your chest wall. That's it, and sink back down and round. Good. 1 more. Tuck under and stretch. Good. Okay, so now we're going to get the glutes working again now. So we are going to come just here. First exercise, just drawing the leg away. So easy version, keep your foot in contact with the mat. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in, bring it back in. Swap sides. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in, bring it back in. Okay, that's the easy version. Harder, we're going to just take it back, glide it across the top, so it's not really making contact, and then just lift at the end. Okay, but the lift is not this. Okay, there's no rotation through the hips, it's just lift. And equally, as you lift, watch this doesn't happen. Okay, so keep your spine nice and level as you do that. So breathe out, lengthen, lift if you can, lower, draw back in, swap sides. Breathe out, lengthen, lift, do a little squeeze, and then release, bring back in. If your wrists are hurting, you can do exactly the same in this position. Lift and lower, draw back in, breathe out, lift, draw Perfect. So just a couple more like that for me. Perfect, good. Keep going with that. Imagine you've got a laser pen sitting in your tummy button and it is pointing down to the center of your mat. Your mat has this line drawn all the way down it, so the pen has got to stay looking at that center line so that you haven't got that temptation to rock your hips from side to side as you lift your leg away. Carry on, one more on each side. So lengthen, lift, release, come back down. Other side, lengthen, lift, and release and come back down. Perfect. Okay, so if we can, we are going to work through the arms now. So if you are on your elbows, you can still do this exercise. We can stretch with the arm forward and come back. But if we come back to this position, we are breathe out, lengthen your arm away, breathe in as it comes back. Swap sides, breathe out, lengthen, breathe in as it comes back. Good. Breathe out, lengthen, breathe in as it comes back. Good. Watch the spine stays nice and level. Imagine that you are balancing that tray of drinks across your shoulders, and watch your shoulders don't start to sneak up near your ears. It's so easily done. So keep thinking about drawing your shoulders down. Engage the muscles underneath your armpits. Breathe out and lengthen. Breathe in as it comes back. Breathe out and lengthen. Breathe in as it comes back. Perfect. Now, with the arms still, we are going to breathe out, lengthen, and then see if you can bring your arm down towards your hip, slide it back round forwards, and pop it down again. Opposite arm, lengthen that arm forwards, slide it round, lengthen it forwards, drop it back down again. Good. Lengthen, take it round and down, lengthen it forwards, pop it back down. Good. One more on each side. Lengthen to your side, draw it back up. So we're starting to work those muscles that draw the shoulder blades down. Good. Come off of your hands, take the pressure away, go into either your child pose, or if your wrists are really hurting, then come all the way up and just circle your wrists around a little bit. Whatever works for you. Good. Okay, so here comes the bit more work now. So we are going to see if we can do opposite arm to opposite leg. Now your choice, you can keep easy with foot on the ground. You can make it harder with the little lift. You can make it even harder that when we get to this point here, you're going to take your arm to the side, take your leg out. So I'll show you on the opposite side. We are going to go leg away, arm up. A little bit harder is a lift. Harder still, leg out to the side, take your arm to the side, lengthen and draw back in again. Your choice, whichever way you want to work. Don't just go for one that you can steadily maintain, okay? We want to work harder, we don't want to be too wobbly, okay? So breathe out as you lengthen, lift if you want to, sweep out and round if you can, and pop back down again, the opposite side, lengthen, lift, out. Imagine that laser pen is still on the middle of your tummy button so that you are not wobbling off to the side. Good. Shoulder blades back and down. One more on each side. Perfect. The last one. Good. Perfect. Just take that weight off your wrists, sit into that child pose and just sink down into your stretch. Good, few deep breaths. Perfect. Okay, we are going to go lying down onto your tummy now. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you like this, but what I would like you to do is lying face down onto the mat, your forehead goes onto the mat. We draw our shoulder blades back and down, and you're going to lie with your hands so that they're by your side, palms facing up. So you would be in this position here. Okay, the exercise that we're going to do is breathe out, lift the arms up so your palms come up towards the ceiling and you're working the muscles between your shoulders. Keep your neck nice and relaxed and head onto the mat. We're not lifting the head yet. Okay, it's all about just working the shoulder blade muscles. So pop your forehead onto the mat, hands down by your side, palms facing up, breathe out, lift. But at the same time as lifting, I want you to imagine that your arms are getting longer and they are reaching down towards your toes at the same time. So breathe out, lift, feel the stretch through your neck. Breathe in as you come back down. Good. Breathe out, lengthen and lift. Breathe in as it comes back down. Few more. Breathe out, lengthen, lift. Breathe in as it comes back down. Breathe out, lengthen and lift. Breathe in to come back down. Last one, breathe out, lengthen and lift. Breathe in as it comes back down. Good. Now, that's the position for the arms. We're going to add a little extra squeeze in a second. What I want you to do now is just make sure that the alignment stays correct. So when you are on your front, you're going to imagine that your tummy button is being lifted up and away from the mat. And at the same time, you're just pushing down with your pubic bone into the mat. So we're creating that sort of little tilt through the pelvis, squeezing, just lifting up. So draw your tummy button up and away. Okay, so the exercise now is going to be draw your tummy button up, push your pubic bone down into the mat a little bit more, breathe out as you lift and lengthen, and then just squeeze your thumbs together. Keep your palms facing the ceiling, release and pop back down again. Breathe out, lengthen and lift, push your thumbs together, release and draw back down again. Breathe out, lift, lengthen, squeeze, release and lower back down. 2 more, lengthen, lift, squeeze, release, back down, lengthen, lift, and come back down again. Perfect. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to bring the arms up actually. We're going to put the arms in this position so they're kind of at 90 degrees, shoulders and elbows. Same again, head is down onto the mat, and we're going to work with opening up through the upper part of your back. So as you breathe out, we're going to pivot and lift and breathe in as we come back down again. Now, what you're going to notice is what I haven't done is this, okay? We're going to imagine that your neck can't move at all. The only place the movement is happening from is the upper part of your back, okay? So breathe out, lift, draw your shoulder blades. Imagine your shoulder blades sliding down your spine at the same time. Breathe in as you come back. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in as you come back down. Breathe out, lift. Draw your shoulder blades down at the same time. Release your shoulder blades, heads come back to neutral. Breathe out, lift. Draw your shoulder blades down. Breathe in, come back. 2 more. Breathe out, lift, and breathe in. Now keep drawing your tummy button up. Push your pubic bone down so that you haven't arched through your low back. And release as you come back down. Perfect. Let's get you back up into child pose and just open up through your spine there. Good. Okay, let's go back onto your backs. Okay, find yourself in a nice neutral position. Relax your hands down by your side. Think about your pelvis position so you're not too far tilted away, you're not too far tilted up, you're just nicely in between. Feet are hip width apart and you are relaxed through your shoulders. You're going to pop your hands onto the front of your thighs. Now as you breathe out, we are going to peel up and away. Now again, this is another exercise where we're going to imagine that you don't have any movement through the neck. So the temptation to do this is to either draw your chin too far down or to sort of poke forward with the chin to do the lifting. We're going to strengthen through this upper core area so it's not your neck that's doing any of the work. So as you breathe out, we can do a little chin nod so that you're looking more towards the corner of the room. But from there, you are now peeling from the upper part of your spine as you roll yourself up. And then breathe out as you lower back down. So breathe in to prepare. Breathe out as you peel up. Breathe in and roll yourself back down again. Good. And just watch you haven't snuck those shoulders up. So breathing out to come up. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out as you roll back down again. Good. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lengthen. Breathe in as you come back. Last one. Peel up. See if you can get a little bit further. And then draw yourself down again. Perfect. Grab hold of your knees. Draw them in towards your chest. And just start to rock through your spine. Okay, you're going to get that rocking going a little bit more so that your bottom's just starting to come off of the mat. When you're ready, you're going to lift your chest without drawing your neck and your chin too far forward, but just curl your chest up. So we're creating this rocking movement, and we're going to roll as much as you can without kicking through your legs. So feel nice and strong through the shoulders and strong through your core until you come up to sitting. Good. If you don't rock all the way up, don't worry, just bring yourself up to sitting and see if we can get you in this position here. So your legs are out nice and long, you're sitting up nice and tall, shoulders around into back pockets. I'm going to have you with your arms forwards. Now just check you haven't snuck too far back, make sure you've got room because we're going all the way down to lying down. So arms out in front of you, draw your shoulders back and down, okay? Think about that connection through your tummy button, so you've drawn your tummy in towards your spine. And as you breathe out, we're going to imagine you've been karate chopped through the middle. So instead of being up like this, we're going to roll the pelvis back and think about placing each one of those bones onto the mat one by one. Nice and gently. And then you're going to let your arms rest over the top behind you. Now, the aim of that exercise is to be able to come all the way down without your legs coming up. So some of your legs may have lifted a little bit. That's absolutely fine. We're going to work with that. We'll see if we can get all the way back up again, but don't worry if you can't, just bring yourself up to sitting. So if you want to have a go with this, draw your arms up towards you, head peels up, we are lifting. You're going to see if we can activate through the abs and come all the way back up to sitting without lifting the legs up off the floor. Okay. If you've got bands at home, this is a nice one to practice with the band around your legs and holding on there. So if you have one close to hand, grab it, you can use it. If not, we carry on like this. So shoulders back and down, arms out nice and long. Imagine you've been karate chopped through the middle. Just tilt your pelvis backwards a little bit, roll down one by one. See if you can control it, same speed all the way down. Don't let the heels lift off the mat if you can. Arms come behind you. Draw your shoulder blades down into back pockets. Arms come up. Look towards your fingers. Peel, 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 lift. And come all the way back up to sitting. Super. Okay. Well, we're going to do two more. Breathe out as you go down. Roll through the pelvis. One by one, each of those bones making contact. Arms go all the way back. Super. Relax your shoulders, draw them down, let the arms float up, peel yourself up, rolling forwards, really work those abs so that the heels stay in contact with the floor. Excellent. Is that the last one? Let's do one more just in case I lost count. Roll through the pelvis, control nice and gently, arms come back. Perfect. Take a nice breath in to prepare, breathe out as your arms come up. Peel yourself up one by one. Oh, I did a little lift that time. There we go. Back up to there. Let your arms relax. Perfect. Okay, let's have a little bit of a stretch out. So put the soles of your feet together. If you can, if your hip flexors and your hip adductors are quite tight, you're going to be in this position. Don't worry if that is the case. Just put your arms onto the inside of your thighs, but don't push. Just let the weight of your arms just gently ease your legs down towards the ground, and you'll feel the stretch through the inner thighs there. Now, if you don't feel too much of a stretch, you can allow yourself just to lean forwards a little bit and just allow that stretch to happen. A few breaths. Good. And then just gently come back up. We're going to take the legs out straight now. Okay, we're going to do a mini roll down sitting. So start sitting right up onto your sit bones. Okay, think about the spine nice and lengthened and tall all the way up towards the ceiling. When you're ready, we're going to allow your spine to just curve in from the pelvis. So you're just taking your weight off your sit bones, just let it come tilt backwards, so you're sitting more towards your spine, and then your chin rolls down towards your chest. Imagine you're putting your nose in towards your tummy button, and then walk your hands forwards. See how far you can get. Now, some of you are going to be super flexible and your head's going to be almost at the ground. My hamstrings are so tight that there's no way that's going to happen, and some of you are probably going to be feeling that as well. But just go to wherever you feel comfortable. Notice where your fingers are. Take a breath in, but don't move your hands or your legs at all. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, just imagine that the legs are softening, your shoulders are softening, and imagine you could just reach a millimetre further forwards and it might just happen. So breathe in. That's it. Hold the position and breathe out and just see if you can soften into that stretch just a tiny little bit more. See if you can reach your fingers a little bit further forwards. Hold your position as you breathe in and breathe out. See if you can just stretch your fingers that last little bit further forwards. Perfect. And next in breath, hold and breathe out and curl yourself back up. Roll your shoulders into your back pocket and sit up nice and tall. Perfect. Okay, tuck one leg in. If you can, see if you can tuck the other leg out behind you. If you can't, you're going to sit with your legs crossed. Okay, so if you can, that leg's come forward, this leg has come round towards the side. It's not easy position for everybody to get into, so like I say, cross your legs if you need to. So the leg that is in front of you here, your hand is going to come out to the side here. You're going to lift the other arm up towards the ceiling, and we're going to allow a twist. So as we reach higher with this arm, we're going to twist the shoulders so we're facing the mat that way, and you're going to see if you can stretch as far as you possibly can with that arm. Bring your hand down towards the floor, and you'll really feel that stretching and opening up through that part of your spine. Okay, right, nice breath in as you come up. Breathe out, lengthen. Good. Breathe in as you come up. Breathe out as you lengthen. Breathe in. And breathe out as you lengthen. We'll do a couple more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now this time, as you breathe out and lengthen, I want you to hold that position. So as you breathe in, stay down in this position. And breathe out and just see if you can just stretch that hand just a little bit further forwards. And breathe in to hold. And breathe out just to lengthen a tiny little bit more. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out to lengthen. And on the next in breath, take your arm up and we will just release out there. Okay, swing your legs round towards the other side if you can. Again, you might find that one way you could do this and the other way you can't, so in which case just sit cross-legged if you can. Leg that's in front of you, the hand comes down towards the mat. Other arm, so the leg tucked behind you, arm goes up towards the ceiling. Lengthen through the arm as much as you can. Okay, you're going to breathe out as you stretch, and remember to twist through the spine and lengthen. Breathe in to come up and breathe out as you go over. Breathe in as you come up. Breathe out as you lengthen. Breathe in. Good, and see if you can just get a little bit further each time. We're just lengthening away as much as you can. See if you can just stretch and get that tiny millimetre further. This one we're going to hold it. So calm down, hold position, breathe in and keep that position. Breathe out, lengthen the fingers away from you if you can. Breathe in and breathe out. See if you can lengthen. Breathe in and breathe out. Last one to lengthen, and breathe in and bring your arm back up. Perfect. Good. Take yourself onto all fours again. We're just going to rotate through the hips so we get a nice stretch through your spine again. So we're coming into that cat-camel stretch. So draw your spine all the way up towards the ceiling, and then release as you tuck and lift up with your chin, lift up with your pelvis, tuck under with your hips, separate the shoulders, push your spine up towards the ceiling, and then rotate through, lift through the hips, look forwards. Good, tuck under and lift. And then release back to neutral. From here, tuck your toes underneath. You're going to lift, so you're coming up into that sort of down dog position. We're working through your calf muscles, so we're walking on the spot. Try and see if you can get your heel down towards the ground. So you're nowhere near. You definitely need to keep practicing this one. So just go with what's comfortable for you. A little bit of a stretch each time. And then when you're ready, walk your feet towards your hands or your hands towards your feet. You're going to end up at the bottom of this roll down. And we're going to restack the spine one by one. Tuck forwards with your hips. Roll yourself back up nice and tall so you'll finish standing. Good. So we're finishing standing here. When you're there, just start rolling your shoulders. Good. So really get some nice big circles through your shoulders. Good. We're going to do big circles with the arms. So breathe in as you come up, breathe out as you circle round. Breathe in as you come up, breathe out as you circle round. Good. Nice. 2 more. And the last one like this. This time bring your hands up towards the ceiling. Grab hold of both hands and lift towards the ceiling. Imagine you've been trapped between 2 panes of glass and you're going to take yourself over to the side. Just hold that stretch. And come back up to center. Go over towards the other side. Imagine you're trapped between that pane of glass. You're not leaning forwards or leaning back as you do this. And then come back to the center. Bring your arms round. Okay, here we go. So breathe in, arms come up towards the ceiling. Breathe out as they come down. Breathe in as you go up. Breathe out as you go down. Think nice and strong and straight through the spine. Breathe in as you come up. Shoulders are away from your ears. Ready for the tiptoes. Here we go. Breathe in. Come up onto your tiptoes. Breathe out as you come down. Breathe in. Come up onto your tiptoes. Breathe out as you come down. Breathe in. And breathe out. We're going into 3 full body swings to finish. So breathe in. Come all the way up. Breathe out. Bend your knees. Swing your arms through and lift. Whoop. Hold the stretch. Hold it. Ready. Breathe out. Swing the arms through. Breathe in as you come all the way up and hold the stretch. Good. When you're ready, last one. Bend your knees. Swing the arms through. Stretch. Hold. Hold, hold, hold the balance. Let your arms come down. Let your heels come down. Well done, everybody. See how you go for that one. And we will see you next Thursday, same time, hopefully. See you next week.